to Cruising with Wheels. I'm Kevin and this is Frank. And we want to welcome all of our new subscribers and say thanks for coming back to our faithful subscribers. And today we're talking about
parents traveling with their kids. A parent's guide to a successful cruise with well-behaved children.
So like we said, we're talking about traveling with your children today. And I know a lot of my clients that have families sometimes feel that cruising won't be right for them because they have children.
Wow.
And, you know.
That's just crazy because cruising is right for everyone.
Cruising's for everybody. And so I just thought that in the beginning of this video, we'd go through a few points, right, that make it a good option for families, whether you have young children or teenagers.
Right.
Right? So I think the first thing that pops into my mind is affordability.
Yeah, it really is affordable. It's a floating hotel taking you from literally one country to the next. You couldn't afford really to do a land tour, right, country to country with transportation, different hotels, airfare. You know, that's a lot of money, especially with kids. Oh, God, and then you got to feed them.
And the food.
I heard you got to feed them. Is that true?
And the transportation and to the different places. And
they require a lot of maintenance. They're very high maintenance, these kids.
Now, I don't want to be sexist and say my second point is for mom, because it could be for dad too, right? We're a gay couple, so the next point would be that there's no housework.
The best part.
No housework, no no cleaning routine,
home
cooking.
Maintenance responsibilities, because your cabin steward is going to take care of your cabin, and you're going to be surrounded by all the crew members on the ship that are going to be waiting on you hand and foot.
So not to mention, you know, you don't have to do your household routine, but you don't have to cook. I know that's a thing you look forward to,
I
right?
look forward to not cooking at all.
So
not cleaning at all.
You're going to have a personal chef there through your whole entire cruise. You're going to get to pick a million different places to eat.
That's right. Different restaurants, different menus, different foods.
And don't worry about if your kids are picky eaters.
I know.
They have so much to choose from, and there are specific kids menus.
That's right, yeah.
That tailor just to the little taste buds.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, your typical mac and cheese and hot dogs and burgers and chicken fingers and, you know, things that kids like to eat.
Now, that's not to say that they can't order from the regular menu, because they can. The caveat to that would be, I just love that word caveat, don't I? That caveat to that rule of thumb would be in the specialty dining venues.
Right. Specialty
dining venues, there's a child's price and a child's menu. If your child wants to order a 24-ounce you know,
T-bone.
T-bone, then you're going to pay the adult price.
That's right.
So just keep that in mind. I think, too, a main concern that a lot of my clients have at the salon are, gee, we love the idea that we get a cook the whole cruise. We love the idea that I don't have to cook and clean. I love that it's affordable. But what am I supposed to do with my kids while they're on the ship?
Well, I know what I would tell you to do with your kids, but that's a whole other story. First of all, we would probably say that whatever cruise line you picked and ship you picked, you should have already gone onto their website to see what kind of activities.
Or maybe they're planning.
Yeah, so maybe we're in
the
planning stage. Go to the website and find out all the different children's activities they have. And most of the cruise lines have it broken down by age group.
Correct.
So that's really helpful.
And they will have a variety of children's programs, youth programs, and teen programs.
Yeah, I mean,
so that runs the gamut of the age.
You go anywhere from, you know, arts and crafts for the little ones to, you know, the sports deck where there's basketball and there's miniature golf. And then, of course, you have the
arcade.
The arcade, which is a biggie. They have all the video games and, you know,
now you're
pinball
paying
machines.
for that arcade.
That's right. And you can...
Did we talk about they have dance parties for them? I know on a few of the cruises that we've been on with
teen dance parties,
specifically with Carnival, they had a parade for the little ones that they would do a pirate parade.
Oh, right,
and they would all dress up like pirates and walk through the ship.
And then you have the who does all the themes? Is it like the green eggs and ham? The Dr.
Carnival.
Seuss. Carnival,
That's
the
Carnival.
Dr. Seuss stuff. What's the other one? What's that strawberry thing? Strawberry cupcake girl that everyone loves. This
Strawberry shortcake?
Strawberry shortcake.
I don't know who does those.
Strawberry shortcake, cupcake, whoever. But all these really cool theme parties and tea parties and stuff that's really, really good. So,
Well, Disney.
oh gosh, I mean, that alone.
Disney has a package that you can get where your little girl can be treated like a princess. She gets to pick which princess she wants to be. They give her, I think they give you the outfit to wear for the day. She gets her hair done at the salon, like Princess Jasmine, let's say. And then she has a tea party.
Oh, cool, cool. So you know, the cruise, though, mainly the adults are paying for it, booking it, and it's pretty much, you know, usually the adult getaway. Don't forget to do a plan for your kids, because let me tell you, from a parent that has 3 kids, if you do proper planning and the kids are enjoying it, it's going to make your cruise even better, because nobody wants to be on vacation on a cruise ship with their children wandering around going, oh, this is so lame. Oh, I'm so bored. Oh, I'm an angry child. I have such angst and I'm going to make my parents miserable because I'm miserable and bored. You don't want that.
Well, you know, but maybe the family dynamic is a little bit different and the kids don't want to be separated constantly from the parents.
That's true. And then, you know, you might have a kid who's just happy to be by the pool with a book.
Okay, but let me get back to the point I was making, which was maybe the kids and the parents, they have a good dynamic. They do the same kind of things. They're diving with dad. They're doing arts and crafts with mom. And,
oh, you mean like those clingy families that are constantly high-fiving each other, you know?
Well, besides the point.
Hey, little buddy, high five, yeah, let's go.
We want to remind parents to give themselves a break while you're on the cruise. Because you know, some cruise lines call it Parents' Night Out, where you can leave your little ones or the teens have a dance party.
Yeah, that should be every night.
The parents get to go out and have a good time and not have to worry about someone has to be with little Johnny or Susie. So keep that in mind, and then, you know, you can have a little respite if you're that kind of family that needs to be together 24/7.
Yeah, I never got into the clingy family that has to do everything together 24/7. It's not healthy.
Now, some good points about cruising, right?
I hope so.
That you get to, and bringing your kids, is that you get to bring your kids to different parts of the world.
Yeah, you really should
and enrich them.
Yeah, expose your children to other countries, other cultures, and hopefully bring them up to be very diverse individuals. And again, it kind of goes back to that whole clingy thing. Your children need to get out and experience, and not only should they be interacting with other children on the ship and adults and crew members, and in terms of their behavior, hopefully good behavior. But, people used to say about my kids that, talking to them when they were like 6, 7, 8 years old was almost like talking to an adult, because they were the kids were, thank the good Lord, were well-mannered, spoke well, were not afraid to be out there. We're not always clingy with the parents and afraid of everything around them. So that's what you want. Those are the kids you want to raise well. So yeah, get them out there. Culture.
Another great thing is that it gives cruises give the opportunity for you and your kids to disconnect. Put the cell phone down. Yeah. Get away from the internet.
Do you want your kid on the cruise ship playing these games on their phone or whatever? That's all they're doing. No, put it down.
Put it down. Put them in a safe.
Yeah.
I know that prior to Cruising with Wheels, that's exactly what we did. Is the phone went in the safe. Mm-hmm. The laptop never went with us. Now it's a necessary evil.
Right.
But that's so that we can bring you guys along.
But if we were traveling with children, oh no, there would be their cell phone, their little games or gadgets, whatever. Absolutely not.
I think I'd put them away.
They would be put away because
during the cruise, but while we're in port, I would give them to them.
While we're in transit or at an airport. Oh yeah, you want those
so we
kids
can stay connected.
You want those kids to be doing something other than going, are we there yet? Are we there yet?
just for me, I like the fact that I can look up where they are on the GPS.
So yeah, it's a necessity when it needs to be.
Again, you're on a cruise ship with thousands of other people, and they have different backgrounds. Mm-hmm. So it's great for kids to interact with different people from around the world, and it gives you an opportunity to allow them to create their own schedule and learn. It can be used as a learning experience.
Make them part of what's going on. What do you want to do today? Let's look at the newsletter they delivered. It's usually the night before, and plan what you're going to do the next day. Make them part of it. It shouldn't be this is what you're going to do tomorrow, and then you're going to do this because we're going to do that. It's let's look it over. Make them part of the planning process. Your life will be much easier, and your vacation will be better.
I think communication is key, and that gets to our next point, which is when you're planning your cruise, you want to sit down and discuss the expectations with your kids before you even book your cruise. What are you expecting to get out of this vacation?
Maybe
where do you want to go?
Right. Sit down with them on the computer. Show them what the ship looks like. Mm-hmm. Talk about excursions because, family excursions, maybe some non-family, depending on what port you're in. Are we going to do a walk around? Is it a tour bus excursion? Is it an active excursion? Water, whatever. Make them part of it.
They need to be part of it. And I think that this is the point in the planning process and in the booking process that we start to talk about setting rules and boundaries.
Right.
When, and generally this is for older kids, but when are they expected to be in their cabin?
Oh, yeah.
Check-in times. We believe, even as adults, we have check-in times, like when we're with Dave and Darlene, okay? We get up in the morning and we talk with each other and we say, okay, we are going to check in at 1:30, at 5:30, and at 10:30, right? And this is the place where we're going to check in. Everybody needs to be at that spot so that we know that everybody is okay.
Even a sleep schedule. Just because you're on vacation.
Routine is good.
Yeah, doesn't mean that your sleep schedule totally goes out the window. Because let me tell you, kids still need proper rest and sleep. Because if they don't, The next day, you will pay for it as a parent.
You will.
They'll be miserable, tired, and crabby. The whole day will go down the toilet, let me tell you. Those of you with kids know what I'm talking about.
And I think that part of a successful cruise is everybody meeting at the end of the day for dinner.
Yeah.
Everybody has dinner together, and maybe you may get a tradition when you're on vacation that everybody tells one good thing.
Right.
What's the new thing that they learned today?
Yeah. What happened? What did you do
they
today?
see?
Yeah. Who did
Where
you
did
meet?
they go?
Who'd you meet?
Yeah.
Where were they from?
I always thought it was neat. When you're in the car and you see different license plates. So maybe your thing would be, what different nationality person did you meet today? Who did you talk to?
Yeah. What friends did you make at arts and crafts, or who'd you meet in the arcade, and where were they from? If you're from New York, were they from Florida or Iowa or California? Did you make friends? Are you going to communicate? Are you going to stay friends after the cruise? Pen pals.
Yeah.
Computer pen pals, but
Facebook friends.
Facebook friends. Okay, thank you.
You're getting a little
I know.
Instagram, Snapchat, WeChat.
No, pen pals.
So now that you've decided that you're going to book the cruise, you've set the ground rules, and decided where you're going. Now we're on the cruise, right? And I think the best thing that any parent can do, regardless of the age of the child, is on embarkation day, visit the kids club or the teen club.
Right. Take them to wherever they will be part of on the cruise, so they get familiar with where it is and what's it all about.
Definitely.
And
this is not just for your child.
It's also for us.
It's for the parents as well, because you're going to need to know where to go if there's an emergency. You're going to need to know what the rules are on the ship. Didn't we do a video, and I can't remember what it was. It was about allergies. I think it was about allergies.
Right.
And EpiPens and emergencies. So different cruise lines have different rules as to how drugs would be administered or not. So
and if they provide it or you provide it.
So you'll need to learn all that yourself.
So if you have a child that has an allergy to something and requires medication, or doesn't have an allergy but has a condition that requires medication, whoever they are in terms of a kids club, whoever is supervising needs to know, my child suffers from.
Right.
And sometimes this happens.
And you might have a shy child.
Yeah.
And this will help them. Generally, I find that the children start to make friends that first night.
Let's hope.
Let's hope.
Some kids are very have separation anxiety. They don't want to leave their parents. Kind of clingy.
Oh God, that wasn't me.
I know, but my sister's kids were like that. I remember when my sister used to come over, and she'd say, "Listen, I don't want to leave the kids." My nephew literally would be clinging to her, and the door handle of the car. Literally, you had to drag him off of her because he wouldn't let her go. And so, you don't want to have kids that way, that are afraid of everything or afraid of being alone. So it's a good way to wean them on a cruise, because you're there, but always not right there.
Another thing that you should do, and it's highly recommended, is take your kids on tours of the ports. Whatever port of call you go to. And if you feel like shore excursions are too expensive,
or a 3-hour excursion on a bus is way too long. They're just not going to hold their interest, because your kids don't want to be sitting on a bus for 3 hours. It's just not their type of excursion.
Well, there's three ways of doing a shore excursion, right? There's you are touring your port of call. You can book a shore excursion with the cruise line. You can book a private tour, Or you can just get off the ship and go
Walk
go
around.
ashore yourself and walk around. And very often that's what we do.
Right.
You can immerse yourself in the culture faster,
Right.
and you don't have to be spending money to do it.
Right. But you know your kids.
Right.
You should. And you should know what their interests are. And if one of their interests is, oh my gosh, they would love to go to the Mayan ruins in Mexico. That's something they would enjoy.
Then that's the excursion you book.
Or you're in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and they're like, oh, I want to go visit the old fort.
But I also think...
Know their interests, and that's going to help you figure out what to do.
And I also think that what would do you a good service as a parent is to do a little research about the ports and the history and know a few places if you're not going to plan a shore excursion, because then you're not walking around aimlessly going, what should we do? How am I going to entertain these kids?
Right, because they're going to look at you and go, oh my God, this is so boring. We're just wandering around and we don't know what's going on and this is so lame. You don't want that.
A lot of the ports, you can consider just taking a beach day.
Oh, yeah.
All kids love the
Kids,
beach.
water. I mean,
I love the beach.
Yeah, I mean, maybe your kids are all water babies, and they love the sand and the water and the swimming and whatever. Then you should decide, will you be eating in port, or will you be going back to the ship for free food? Because
well, that's something that I didn't even think about.
Eating in port is another monetary expense.
Right, and I'm kind of like a child when it comes to food.
Yes.
Frank always plans ahead, and we bring snacks with us ashore.
Yes.
So if you have young children or teens,
and they should be prepackaged snack food.
Not an apple.
Right.
Not a banana.
A lot of the ports will not allow you to bring fruits, vegetables, or whatever into their country for fear of possible contamination. So everything we bring from home to the airport, to the hotel, to the cruise ship, to the ports are all pre-packaged from the stores. Animal crackers, snack bars, pretzels, Pop-Tarts, candy bars. What is it? A Carnival has that candy store, don't they, on board?
Yeah, cherry on top.
The cherry on top. Oh, I'd be hitting that before I even leave the ship. Load up. And then I remember we were in port. Where were we? Were we?
I can't remember where we were.
And I remember seeing the giant Snickers bar. And I'm going, ooh, Snickers. And they had all this candy.
I think that was where you almost died.
Yes. And he goes, you don't need that. I go, oh, but look at that Skittles too. You don't need that. And I'm like, who doesn't? Of course I need that.
Because I'm the parent who says no, and he's the parent who gives them everything. So let's talk.
A lot of things to think about.
Let's talk a little bit about specific cruise lines.
Yeah, there's a lot of traveler recommended people and organizations like Cruise Critic and other sites online. They have recommendations for you on what they believe are the best cruise lines for certain ranges of kids traveling on a cruise.
Okay, so the first one that we found, which was very surprising to me, was that toddlers, what was suggested was Cunard.
Yeah, babies, from babies to toddlers.
And it just surprises me because I always think of them as, whoa, we're the stuffy line.
You always think of them as kind of the Titanic image of stuffiness.
But they are a luxury cruise line, and they do offer childcare at 1 year plus.
Oh, God, that is invaluable, let me tell you.
And they have special splash areas, like the pools and whatever, for diapered children on every ship.
That is awesome. Because you love your kids, but sometimes you're like, I love you, kiss, 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 kiss. Oh God, please go away for 5 minutes. Daddy needs 2 seconds to think. Everybody needs their own space.
So now we also know that Carnival's a good.
Oh yes.
Carnival is always going to be a go-to for the kids.
Carnival fun ship.
But let's talk a little bit about kids under 10.
Okay.
Okay, so
Like around the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-ish.
so after toddlers,
Yeah.
but before
The
tweens.
tweens, yeah.
And the big recommendation for that age group would be Disney Cruise Lines.
Because they're not like so young, like taking little babies on a Disney cruise. I'm sorry, but you know what? Your 1-year-old is not going to remember anything.
I don't even understand why anyone brings a baby
At all.
on a cruise ship. That's just me.
Yeah.
Frank says I'm bereft of emotion, but
It's hard for parents
You
to
gotta
have a
cart all that
1-year-old.
crap.
Oh yeah, the diapers, the formula, whatever. I get that. I get that. Transportation, strollers, been there. But it's hard for parents to leave a 1 or 2-year-old at home with someone you trust.
No.
And even if it's your brother, your sister, your parents, people you grew up with that you trust, you say, oh my God, I trust my parents, my siblings with my life. There's still something about leaving your child with someone and not having that control that is very scary. Bereft of emotion, he would drop them off like that.
That's right. Now, Disney Cruise Lines we were talking about, and the reasons why they are good for kids under 10, especially, is most of their ships offer cabins with bathtubs.
Yeah.
A standard cabin with a bathtub.
Yeah.
So on other lines, you'd have to get a mini suite.
Right. Otherwise, you're dealing with the shower.
Right. And so it's easy to bathe those little ones. They also have splash areas for non-potty trained children. And children 6 months plus. And they're the best. They have the best shore excursions for kids in the industry, in the cruise industry. As a bonus, they have privacy curtains between the children's area of the stateroom and the parents' bed.
That's nice, because parents need a little privacy. Get a little something there. Need to have the kids go to sleep.
Not with the kids in the room.
Yeah, and they're at that age. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the age that they really would enjoy Disney. They've watched all the movies on video in the theater. They know all the characters, the princes and the princesses and the evil villains. They would enjoy that. That's the time to take them. Yeah.
Let's see about tweens now.
Oh gosh, now we're getting into an age where they start to get a little.
I am 8.
I'm growing up and I want to be on my own.
I don't need
and I
you.
think all parents are dumb and don't know what they're talking about.
So we think that Carnival Cruise Lines is the line to go with your tweens. In most cases, they're more affordable.
Yes.
The cruise line is especially recommended for the tween age group. They have childcare for kids 2+ on Carnival. And some ships offer splash areas for non-potty trained children, but not all of them. Right. So that's why we think the tweens and really that age group is really, really, really. Carnival does a really good job.
That 11, 12
in their kids programs.
Heading toward the teenage group. That can be that's a difficult transition for a child on an everyday basis as they're growing up, and they're like, I'm not a baby anymore, Mom. But yet again, they're not old enough where they're into the being 15, 16, 17-year-old teenagers to be not worry about them. So it's a difficult growing age for them. So, think about that when you're bringing them on a cruise with you.
So the next and final age group would be the teenagers,
That's right? Those teenagers who are, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds who do not want mom and dad around, okay? They're adults, according to them, and they want to be on their own.
And our opinion is that Royal Caribbean and NCL is the cruise line to go with if you have teens. They have extensive programs and entertainment for the teens on their ships. They even have private clubs, private dance clubs. I'm just thinking of NCL in particular has Entourage.
Right. Where teenagers can hang out with other teenagers, and make friends and not have mom and dad, looking over their shoulders at them, wondering, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? Whatever.
Now, as for the little ones on those ships, Royal Caribbean and NCL offers private in-stateroom babysitting. It's for a fee. And some of the ships offer group child care as young as 6 months. I know on a few of the brand new NCL ships, they have guppies, which is their nursery. And some of the ships have splash areas for babies and toddlers.
That's fun.
So, like I was going to say, these recommendations are general recommendations that we feel are the best suited for those age groups. That by no means means that you have to book a carnival because you have a tween.
Right. But let us know. Traveling, those of you that have traveled with your kids, let us know what the best experiences you had on board, what cruise line, what ship you were on. We want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, comment below.
People will want to know. Share the wealth with the rest of the cruisers out there, because some people think that, we really want to go on a cruise, but, we've got 2 kids, and I just don't know if they would enjoy themselves. And then, so pass it on and say, hell yeah, I took my kids on, they loved it.
And speaking of sharing, we share very often on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
That's right.
So make sure you're following us there. And if you're not a regular subscriber,
please click that subscribe button on YouTube.
Come
on. What do we have to do to make you a regular subscriber?
And
help me help you.
Over the last year, YouTube has added this little dingy bell.
Ding dong.
If you click on that bell, you can activate notifications to find out when our latest videos are out. So make sure you do that.
Right. But, we always upload videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning for your viewing pleasure.
But until next time, we want to remind you to always
travel safe
and cruise often.